So we're a little under 3.5 minutes from the start of the deorbit burn.
Right.
Again, our sequence of events has started. We're able to separate that claw at 10:51 a.m. Pacific.
Good afternoon, guys.
17:51 GMT or Universal Time. And then at 10:52, just a minute later, the trunk separating while Dragon is flying just off to the west of Australia.
Stream is live.
So claw separated, trunk separated. Next up, deorbit burn.
Just a second.
Yeah, right now, Dragon is running exclusively on battery power now that the trunk is separated.
We get it quite often.
Also, right now,
you don't see it on the YouTube
telemetry is looking really good for the vehicle. The nitrox system is primed for cabin and suit cooling, and the heat shield is exposed and ready for atmospheric re-entry. Like I said before, that nitrox system, which is essentially the air that we breathe every day down here on Earth, nitrogen-oxygen combination, a mixture. It's the same stuff that they put in your scuba tank if you are a scuba diver. The nitrox system is used to cool the cabin and the suit to keep the crew comfortable during the re-entry phase. They will actually have cold air flowing through their suits themselves, as well as through the cabin itself. So a two-pronged approach to maintaining a comfortable temperature there inside the capsule. Like we said, the next event that we have coming up will be the deorbit burn, which we're expecting that to commence in 1 minute.
But if you prefer to have that volume a bit louder, I can do that. So this is the Lego box I'm going to make, and I hope this is not looking ridiculous because I've never done using the alpha channel or chroma key trick, so I'm trying it out now for the first time. Hey Nigel, good evening.
According to the ground tracking map,
I'm really looking forward to landing in the back, as you can hear. And as you can see, by the way, let me check if the stream is now actually running. I just updated the thumbnail. Does it work? Yeah, that works. Great. I love it. I did put disabled.
We are less than a
We're excited.
Jinx.
We are inside a minute to deorbit burn.
The background video is not mine, of course. It's SpaceX's and NASA's.
This is the long one. This is expected to last 11 minutes, 22 seconds.
Just want
this is that burn
share
that commits the Dragon to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere.
Just a second.
You get kind of a sense of just how
so the last hour is just started.
By the time they fire this burn, they're just going to be off to the
exciting
southwest
day
of Australia.
When Bob and Doug and the crew Dragon capsule is landing,
to intersect with that
which is totally awesome.
Off the coast of Pensacola, where they're going to be splashing down.
Showing the correct.
Yeah, this is the moment where Dragon is fully committed to the re-entry point. Again, we are aiming for just off the coast of Pensacola, Florida. Our recovery ship Go Navigator is ready and waiting to begin the recovery process right after splashdown occurs.
Build this awesome box.
Once again, if you're just joining us, we are now in the final
steps
of the deorbit sequence. The deorbit burn will be starting here in just a couple of seconds.
We just heard confirmation deorbit burn has begun.
During the stream,
at 10:56 a.m. Pacific.
Move some windows here.
While the Dragon spacecraft just off the southwestern coast of Australia.
This can be full screen, then we can
move this aside. 11 more minutes to go.
I'm ready, and I'm sure it's safe to say that.
So I'm really looking forward to what is happening in the back, and if something interesting happens, I can just move the box, but you see that the filter is not working that properly. I really need some proper background here instead of
just the opportunity
my
to be able to
cutting
fly these
mess,
two incredible humans to the International Space Station.
Let's open it up. This is a cool box.
It's
a cool space shuttle. You can see, you can look through the box. This is magic.
Our space dads home safely. And back to
it's of course. I'm not the first one using this, but I'm. As much as I'm looking forward to
burn that we are currently in, it will last 11 minutes and 22 seconds.
I'm looking forward to building this kit here. Right.
Be a little more than minute 10 in counting, so we have about 10 minutes to go.
I know I will not have much space.
System performing
I think I have to change it to runs now for
we always want to hear. We always like to hear.
Just a second. I really need to have a proper background later on. Anyway,
10
for
minutes
now
to go left
I think
in
it will
this
work.
burn.
Just changing the tolerance a bit.
And all within the last 10 minutes.
We can give it a go.
It seemed like we had slow progressive events all morning, and then boom, within the last 10 minutes we had a couple of things happening. Dragon maneuvered itself into the appropriate position to jettison its trunk.
Yes, and it goes Ghostbusters well on television. That reminds me of this. Anyway, microphone is still powered on, which is great.
Like I mentioned earlier, this deorbit burn is the last time
I have no idea how many people will be watching this because it's just a bit of fun, you know.
Top of the capsule. Dragon Endeavour has not yet entered Earth's atmosphere, but
my
this
amplifier a bit because I want to hear what it's saying.
line the vehicle
I like it a lot.
up and put it on its final trajectory to the landing site in the Gulf of Mexico. Right now,
let's start with Bob or Doug, or
Chris,
or someone else at the space station.
Using their screens to keep tabs on the burn duration. Draco
Oh, that's cool. You got a jetpack which goes over his head completely.
Such as entry angle, capsule perigee, and how much distance is remaining until that deorbit burn terminates.
I've got loads of space.
So all they really have to do is stay strapped in their seats and keep tabs on
not
things.
This kind. Am I finished yet? Almost. So one thing is missing, and that's this helmet. Cool. Oops. This is awesome. Look at him. Look at him. Can just work at the ISS, you know. You got some tools as well. So we can
so while this burn
update
is
the power of
again,
the ISS
we're
now.
Just a few minutes into
Which
it,
Bob
in the
and
last
Chris did
11 minutes and 22 seconds.
Put here. Can we put him here? Oh, out of the camera.
We have a couple more events coming up afterward in, let me check my timeline for minutes. We will have the initial parachute deployment. So
he has that spaceship.
that
Cool.
is essentially when we will be deploying the drogue
this is my first
parachutes that are designed
space shuttle from the new series, so that's cool. It's inspired by NASA, it says here.
It is re-entering the atmosphere,
By NASA astronauts in space. Isn't that cool? We're watching
then a minute after that, we will deploy the
We're
drogue
building a NASA
parachutes,
spaceship.
and that is targeted for
totally
11:44 a.m.
Oh man,
Pacific,
coolest ever.
18:44
Anyway,
Universal.
building some
a couple
small
minutes after that,
satellite.
we will have splashdown.
Seems.
So again, that's all in just under 44 minutes.
I think it is. Yeah, it is.
Right now, we are performing the deorbit burn.
I'm very quick normally building Lego, so I hope I'm not going too fast, but we'll just do this, and after that you can enjoy the rest of the live stream from NASA and SpaceX, which is quite cool. I wonder how many people are watching at the moment. I guess something about around 100,000 or something. I don't know. Right, let's get the
and then there'll be a bit more of a gap, and
satellites,
at that point, they
solar
will
panels,
maneuver
and there should
Dragon
be some
to
stickers
its
somewhere.
entry attitude, essentially heat shield pointed down
Where
and
are
into
they?
the
I will see them later on.
the line of
Should be
velocity.
stickers.
And
Alright.
that
Maybe
heat shield
some
protecting them
still.
from the
Yeah,
heat of re-entry.
Thought so.
Temperatures
Okay.
getting up to
Let's
about
put the
3,500 degrees
solar panels on the panels.
on the Dragon spacecraft, but everything looking good. We're about 5 minutes into
Cool.
this deorbit burn. Again, it started right at 10:56 a.m.
Very
Pacific time.
So now got a small satellite,
56
which is
56 GMT.
as big as
Dragon
the
is flying about
that's one out here,
260
but
statute
that's
miles,
normal, I think.
just
I
off the
even think that
southwestern coast of Australia.
satellites are a bit bigger usually. Oh, I got them the wrong way around. Okay. This way then. Okay, it should look something like this, but it won't stand. We gotta then stand here with the satellite. Great. So, who of you are watching the NASA or SpaceX stream as well? Of course, you can see it in my back here. You can see the control center of the
right
ISS.
now, during this burn,
Oh, sorry, this is SpaceX's control center.
we just heard a call that we're halfway through the burn and everything is looking
For,
great, everything performing
Crew Dragon,
nominally.
obviously.
During this burn right now, Bob and Doug are currently monitoring the deorbit tool, which, like I said earlier, captures things like the perigee, the re-entry interface.
I hope the audio is okay. Let me know.
How much time, or excuse me, how much distance remains before the burn itself is terminated. They're also monitoring the burn duration and the firing of those
like
Draco
Porsche
thrusters located there
built
at
last
the
week.
on the forward bulkhead
from,
of the
his,
capsule. There on your screen, you
earn
actually
money.
can see what Bob and Doug are seeing right now. That is that tool on their screen. So on the left and the right of the center screen, that is the deorbit That is the deorbit monitoring tool.
You can see it. It's too dark. When it's finished, I think you will see it a bit better because there's more white on top. Right.
Just past 7 minutes into the burn, a little over 4 minutes remaining. Everything's still looking good.
So they're doing their first 11-minute burn
to commit it to coming home. Everything continuing to be on track for our splashdown. Again, our splashdown time right at
lose some velocity.
And 24 seconds Pacific was the calculated time.
It's pity there's no video.
It would be
from
typical for a couple seconds on
later.
either side, but that time is 18:48 GMT or Universal. But we're already through several of the really major steps to initiate this re-entry. The claw is separated, the trunk is gone, the deorbit burn has begun, and we're more than halfway through, just a little under 3.5 minutes remaining.
There on your screen is a shot of our Mission Control Center here at SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California, where the Dragon operators and mission leaders are there monitoring Dragon's progress. They continue to watch the propulsion data and all the GNC data, making sure that everything is looking healthy and nominal.
Just about 2 minutes, 30 seconds until the end of this burn. We'll listen for the call out up to the crew on the performance of the burn, and then they'll start moving into the next steps. Again, we'll get about a 3-minute breather before the next major milestone comes up when we get ready to close the nose cone, that protecting the docking ring, guidance, navigation, and control sensors, and also these 4 forward bulkhead thrusters that are currently performing the deorbit burn during the actual re-entry process. So we are at just under 2 minutes from the conclusion of the deorbit burn.
Those engines, look at those.
Again, Dragon is committed to its splashdown point.
Cool.
There is no going back.
No going back for Bob and
We already
Doug.
have the recovery team ready and on standby. They've been there for quite some time now. Here, and we have about 90 seconds left in the burn. Weather looking great at the splashdown site off Pensacola. Winds just around 2.5 miles per hour. Sea being described as
so
like
this is a touchscreen from Bob and Doug.
Radioing up to the crew. Ended up getting
something like that.
Fantastic weather for this first crewed splashdown of Dragon. We are 1 minute away from the end of deorbit burn.
Again, this burn is placing Dragon on its final trajectory to the landing site off of the coast of Pensacola, Florida. That is in the Gulf of Mexico. And our recovery vessel, Go Navigator, and the recovery team are ready and waiting to see Bob and Doug come back through the atmosphere. Like we said, this deorbit burn, during this deorbit burn, they're not actually re-entering the atmosphere just yet. That won't happen for about another half hour or so. This is essentially just lining up Dragon on the right course to that splashdown site.
Yeah, still in an altitude of about 254 statute miles over planet Earth. We are coming up on 10 seconds from the end of the burn, so we'll stand by and wait for the call out to the crew on the burn performance.
Dragon, SpaceX, deorbit burn complete, performance nominal, nose cone closure initiated.
Nominal burn, nose cone is working.
I'll move the parts from his face.
All right. The orbit burn complete. We heard the call. Nominal burn. Bob and Doug are on their way back home. This burn commits them to re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. Ooh, all we have left now is to wait. That was really one of the last major moments before they start re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. We'll have the nose cone closure coming up next. That should be coming in just a couple of minutes, as we had about a 3-minute span between the end of the deorbit burn and that moment.
Yeah, the nose cone is actually
Imagine
currently
you can spend
in
all day
the closing process,
these,
so it doesn't
kits.
just snap shut.
Wouldn't that be
It
cool?
does slowly close and lock. So right now, that nose cone is in the process of moving back into the closed position, and we will hear the
Really
call
cool.
out for whenever it
I
has
like
fully closed, and whenever the latches have secured.
Seeing some data, it looks like it's about
Cool.
halfway there. It's
Look at
open
it.
a little bit more than 90 degrees. I think the exact count was
Especially that you can see
110
through it.
degrees opening range
That's,
or range of motion for the
Even
nose
better
cone.
than the Crew Dragon.
So we're a little more than
just
halfway
joking.
now to getting that nose cone closed.
Some new logo, which I've not seen before. On this label here. It's cool.
So I have just heard that we have a visual on nose cone
Cool.
closure. So it'll take a minute for the hooks to close in. They close in a series, so the first series will close and then the second
Maybe we
will
can
follow.
see what they're doing
and that
there.
will take about a minute to complete.
Above the Earth. Would be cool. Alright. This was only a 5-minute build, but still very cool. Oh, sorry. Let's put something here because my filters are not working correctly. Because my bad green mat here, it's dark green, it's a bit yellowish green, gray.
Well, as
something.
we just wait for the
Doesn't work at
finish
all,
to
but-
that nose cone closure, we'll have a bit of time again. We'll have about 20 minutes, or a little over 21 from right now, until we really start re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. We're expecting
20 minutes,
that
and then they
entry
will
interface, in
enter
about 21 minutes.
Earth's atmosphere
and
again.
then right around that
I
time,
hope
we'll
all
also be looking
goes
for
well,
that blackout
of course.
we've been talking about. We've had a little bit of what we call Radicom at this point, so you'll hear kind of some sporadic
Oh, cool. The
interruptions in the audio transmission just because of
the
how Dragon was oriented.
satellite can actually be
for
stored
the,
here. Look at that.
The trunk jettison and for the actual deorbit burn.
It's cool.
But
Didn't know
that blackout period will be due to the
So
plasma
this
that builds up
shuttle
around
could
the
actually
capsule,
deploy
interfering
the
with those
satellite.
antennas either sending or receiving
Isn't that
data.
cool? And you can close it, so it will stay in here. Won't fall out. Very cool. Okay, spare parts, but this is the
I've heard the
back
call
wing.
out that the first set of hooks for nose cone closure
Very
are in
cool. I
motion.
like this.
So
I want to buy more of,
this
more
will
of these.
complete in 2 sets.
I only
The
have a
first set is now in
lawnmower
motion,
from
so
Lego,
really
but that
good
doesn't
news to
fit the
hear
screen,
that.
I guess.
Everything looking good
Right.
so far.
So this is
Like I mentioned before,
is it?
in the background, Dragon has inhibited the
Cool, isn't
forward
it? Oh, look.
bulkhead Draco thrusters
I can
that we
modify
just
the
used to
filters by turning
complete
this
that
Lego set.
deorbit burn.
Hey,
This
Jean
is to
Louis.
ensure that
Rich.
it's safe to latch that
I
nose
need to
cone
respond
shut
to your
for
email.
re-entry.
Sorry, I haven't done that yet. But
Also,
I've
the
been working on
vehicle
RGB
has
cables,
initiated the nitrox purge.
couple of hours.
Nitrox is simply a
need
mixture
to make,
of nitrogen
lots
and
of them.
oxygen. It's what we breathe.
Okay.
And
So does, this one is done?
The nitrox that is being
so
purged
if
into
anyone
the
is
system
thinking,
is
well,
cool.
the Crew Dragon looks
So
kind of odd
allowing
today.
that cool air
Well,
to
that's
circulate
true.
around the cabin,
It's
but
not a Crew
also
Dragon.
inside of Bob
I
and Doug's
didn't
suits
see where
will
this
help to
should be
keep them
deployed, by the way.
cool and comfortable
See.
during re-entry, which will be coming up in about 20
Should be
minutes.
somewhere because I only have one and
Currently tracking 23 minutes and 20
did I miss
seconds
it?
until entry begins.
I haven't seen it anywhere. Oh no, wait, it's a spare part for the motors here.
In case you're just joining us at this point, the nose cone has
Cool.
closed. The forward thrusters have been disabled, and we are latching the nose cone. Currently underway with the first set of hooks. The first of
Doesn't it look cool?
sets.
This is Bob. Hello, Bob. Are you back on Earth? Yep. Yes, I'm back on Earth. Where does he fit well?
And we just had confirmation that the first set of hooks
Looks a
is
bit
closed.
tiny.
So now the second set will begin to close as well.
Oh, that's cool. Right. That's actually all I wanted to stream for now. So I would suggest to continue watching the stream. The link is in the description. The link to the SpaceX channel.
After this nose cone's fully closed,
because it's very exciting. What's
have a couple of minutes to catch our breath again. About 20 minutes or just under 20 minutes until Dragon will start to maneuver itself to the entry at